In Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, so great to see you today. Thanks for joining us. Before we dive into Trump's one big, beautiful bill, I'd like to get your reaction to what we're seeing going on in Los Angeles right now. So we have the National Guard facing off with rioters that are becoming increasingly more violent. We've got people flying Mexican flags in the streets rather than American flags. What do you make of the situation?
Well, thank God we have Donald Trump as our president. He's not going to tolerate this one bit. Look, these rioters have defaced federal property. They're setting cars on fire, and they're treating our law enforcement horribly. President Trump's not going to tolerate that. I hope he doubles up the number of troops that we're sending there. We need to send a loud and clear message that under Donald Trump, we're not going to tolerate this type of violence, this type of vandalism. Look, we elected President Trump to remove violent, illegal aliens. He was there June 6th. His people were there on June 6th to remove 40-some violent, illegal aliens, murderers, people that abuse children, human trafficking, the typical lot. And then there was a riot in response to that. Look, we need to empower President Trump. Thank God that Donald Trump is there sticking up for our military and sticking up for our law enforcement.
Yeah, I mean, Senator, to your point, I mean, while we see this happening in these blue areas, these deep blue areas, if you care about border security, if you care about putting more ICE officers on the street, the one big, beautiful bill does it. 10,000 more ICE officers. And I get it. Some people want more spending cuts. We all want more spending cuts, but you got to take what you can get. Here's your colleague, Ron Johnson, over the weekend talking about it on CNN.
And my only problem with this bill is it just doesn't go far enough to address that big mess. No, nothing's really changed. I'll be sitting down with the White House economic team. I'm finishing up a report. I'll be issuing that next week that lays out exactly what this is, gives different growth scenarios, showing how difficult it is going to be to grow our way out of this. I'm all for economic growth. We have to address spending. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem, and this bill just doesn't go far enough to address that problem.
Senator, I've been in politics a long time. I've never seen a perfect bill. So do we think we can get some of those guys to say yes to 90% of what they want?
We have to. You know, we are not going to go home this summer without finishing this bill. Failure is not an option. This bill is going to prevent the largest tax increase in American history. It's going to give Americans $1,000 a month more of their own money. They'll take home $1,000 more a month. If we don't pass this bill, that evaporates. We have to deliver for the president's agenda to secure the border. To your point, in this bill, there's enough money for 2,000 miles of barrier. It's going to double the number of ICE removal agents. You said 10,000, but that's doubling of what we have out there. We have 400,000 violent, illegal aliens in America that we need to remove. It's easy to spend $100,000 on their removal. So failure is not an option. I agree with Ron Johnson's goals that I want to get to a balanced budget. I believe we'll do that over 4 years' time. The first thing we do is grow the economy, stabilize spending. There is a cut. There'll be $2 trillion of cuts in this bill before it's all said and done, at least $2 trillion. And that's our focus right now. I'm trying to reach out to everybody in Congress right now. Where else can we trim some money? I'm working hard on Medicaid. That would be my area of expertise. So we'll get there, but we have a lot of work to do now in the next 3 weeks.
Absolutely. And sir, this bill doesn't just focus on border security and tax relief, but it also includes major investments in veterans care and American energy independence. Why do you think that those parts aren't getting maybe the attention they deserve from the mainstream media?
Well, I think that it's so much easier to talk about Medicaid, and I just want to tell everybody, look, we're not going to take Medicaid away from seniors in nursing homes or people on disabilities. We're going to protect Medicaid for those who need it the most.
And Senator, any prediction real quickly here on whether we get it all done by July 4th, or is it just the Senate and then going into conference and or whatever happens, and the goal really is getting it done by the August recess?
Look, I wouldn't plan on any big plans over July 4th. I think that the Senate will take it right up to that day. We were supposed to be done on a Thursday before July 4th. I bet we're here all weekend. I bet we give it over to the House. Congress typically responds when there's a deadline, a gun at their head. So I wouldn't make any big plans for July 4th if I was on the House side.
Well, I will tell you, at least D.C. does have a good fireworks show for July 4th if you're still stuck there.
True.